Quick tutorial on how to get a lot of filtered water fast and easy. Now we prefer zero water. Zero water works awesomely. Sorry, I was doing a little pre-experience, so still going. It takes out everything in the water, so you really get nothing in the water except water, which is awesome. Love that. But it comes in this little container, and it's not a lot of water storage, especially with this inside of it. This doesn't have a very large base. You can only fill up so much water, wait for it to drain, then you have to refill it up, wait for it to drain, and you run out of it right away. So like, oh, you know, we don't like that. We want water and want it easy. So we got one of these nice little big water holders, but the downside is, of course, you still have to take a while to fill it up, pour it in, fill it up, pour it in, and it's a pain. So, how can we use science to improve this? Well, we have a bigger jug. You get one of these guys. I got it because it's a nice big size and it fits well into here. You'll see in a moment. Fill this up with water first. So I have a little water reservoir. Make sure not to put too much water that this would overflow. Next up is you take this, put it on top, make it nice and snug, and that way the opening of the jug is hitting the opening of the filter. Next step is a little bit tricky. Make sure you don't squeeze the bottle and let water out. Flip it and set her in. Now what's going to be happening, you can actually show it down here real quick, is there is, oh you gotta keep her, there you go, is underneath here there's not really any water in here, but the water is going through there, and you see that bubble is as the water comes down, this is getting less pressure inside of it, so the outside pressure is pushing up into it, and when that water drops down, air sucks up to it, and that's where you see that little bubble, and thus re-equalizes the pressure. Lower water comes down, then the pressure finally equalizes, pushes the air up, and thus you get a nice constant stream of water coming down into the filter, making it very nice and easy to fill. And eventually this will be filled all the way down, and then you simply just refill her up, put it back in. You can leave this sit. Just make sure, of course, you don't put in too much water that this would overfill, because then you're going to run into the problem of once it reaches where it can't fill anymore, this kind of backs up and it just kind of falls over and you get water everywhere. So, you know, and apparently now they have this little, you know, kind of water filter thingy here, which same principle. Well, not really. It just allows you to have a basin here instead of filling up this little pitcher guy, but it still takes a while to fill up the reservoir. At least it has a little bit bigger one in there, which is nice. But this method definitely takes the cake. If you can't find one with a big enough hole, we found one that had a little smaller hole. We took a scissors and gently carved out a little bit more of an opening and put the tip in it, and then we propped this at a corner and just gently leaned up against there so it didn't fall over. But this is how we fill up water, because you can let it sit. It's going to take about maybe 2 or 3 of these to fill up that jug on the bottom, and then you have nice fresh water you can throw in the fridge and you're all set. So that's a little tutorial.